Hey there, and welcome to part one of our start to finish Facebook and Instagram ads guide for med spas, dermatologists, and aesthetics practices. So we're not going to hold anything back here. This is not a bait and switch. We're going to show you our entire process, philosophy, and system for building super productive, effective campaigns with Facebook and Instagram ads. Okay, so when we recorded this originally as the webinar, the title of this was 53 leads and 15 booked appointments in 1 week. And that's a real stat, real email we got from a client that we were running Facebook and Instagram ads for here in the Nashville area. So like those are the type of results and the potential that we're kind of going through outlining in this presentation. So if you are interested in results like these, where you can get dozens of new leads and 15 booked appointments every week from your Facebook and Instagram ads, we're going to show you the process to do that. So who am I and why listen to this presentation in the first place? So my name is Ricky Shockley. I'm the owner of Med Spa Magic Marketing. So our company, our parent company name has been Shockley Marketing since we started in 2012. We're 5-star rated on Google. We decided last year to niche down as Med Spa Magic Marketing, although we've been serving med spas and medical practices for over a decade now with SEO, online advertising, and a variety of other marketing initiatives. I'm also the host of the Med Spa Success Strategies podcast. So if you haven't checked out our podcast, highly recommend that. We've got lots of great guests lined up and lots of awesome episodes already recorded that you can check out that really give you additional guidance from experts in the field on how you can grow and manage your med spa. So first of all, the screenshot here, the real results in action, right? For the duration of this campaign that we're looking at, this client spent a little less than $2,000 on the actual ads and had 239 leads at a cost per lead of less than $8 per lead. So we're roughly, our rough goal for Facebook ad leads. So these are not going to be as high intent as Google. We're not going to convert 50% of our Facebook ad leads into patients realistically, but what we're looking for is at least a 10% conversion rate or greater. So what that means though is for $1,800 in ad spend, we would have acquired 24 new patients, new booked appointments to the practice. So it means for every $75 we're spending on ads, we're actually getting a new patient in the door for services. So obviously you factor in lifetime value. This can be an extremely effective campaign and a tool that you can leverage for growth of your practice. So those are real results in action, an actual screenshot from the Facebook ads dashboard. This is an email from that client, which is the one of the things that we referenced in the original presentation. This is the email from the client regarding this ads campaign. Thank you, Ricky. Just a snapshot following up on the schedule. This week alone, we have 3 Dysport patients, 11 micropeel patients, and 1 laser hair removal, all from the specials. They are definitely booking. Glad to see we now have the hormone therapy ads going on Google as well. So we got them launched on Google. But it's really nice to receive emails like that you know we're not only generating leads, but these are turning into booked appointments. And I'll go into the system and the process that we use to maximize the chances that these leads actually turn into converted booked appointments on the other end here. Another example. So in this little short run, this was just, I think, over the course of 2 weeks, week and a half, 44 leads for $376 in ad spend. So you can see the consistency here, $8, $8.55 per lead. This client said, we're doing great with the leads. We were able to schedule 9 out of the 25 that put in their information on Facebook into appointments. Most of them, we were also able to upsell with an additional product or return service. I'm very pleased with the success rate of the ad. So super encouraging, like that we're able to generate these results. And we're going to show you how you can do this for your practice as well. So a little bit of precursor background information that we need to cover. And one of those is that you have to understand the reality is you have a ton of competition as a med spa or aesthetics practice, and that competition is only growing. Just as an example, I took a screenshot here from, I don't even remember where this was, the Atlanta area in preparation for this presentation. North Atlanta, all those red dots are med spas within probably a couple miles of one another. So if you're in most suburbs, most cities throughout the country, this is probably pretty similar to the landscape of your competition as well. So again, looking at the medical spa market, the expectation from DataBridge is that this market's going to surge to $41 billion. and is expected to undergo significant growth here in the coming years, and this is projecting into 2019. So there's only going to be more and more competition entering the market moving forward. So we'll talk about the implications of that in a second, right? So right now that's a $14.4 billion market. They're projecting by 2029 it's a $41 billion market. So there's a lot of growth coming here. So how do we ensure that we're maximizing our percentage of the market share? So it looks like from these data companies, what's going to happen here is you're going to have the med spa industry and the practices are going to grow more probably than the demand of the patients is going to grow. So there are more patients every day partaking in med spa type services. Population grows obviously a little bit as well. But the reality is we need to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a position to succeed in a competitive landscape. So number one, you have to knock it out of the park when it comes to patient experience. There is no substitute for this. You can't, find a loophole around this. If you're not doing this long-term, you're going to lose. So one of the things that was mentioned on our podcast episodes previously was go visit your competitors, see what they're doing, because every practice owner, when we ask them, hey, what is the patient experience like with your practice? They all think that they're knocking it out of the park. And you might think you're knocking it out of the park, but the only way that you know that is to understand the context of the competitive landscape. And you need to know what the experience is like with your competitors, or you're not going to have a real objective perspective of your patient experience. So we have to be killing it when it comes to patient experience. You have to have outstanding online reviews. Context, again, is super important. If you have 4.6 stars on Google, that might seem like a nice review profile, but if the other 3 med spas in your area have 4.8 and 4.9 stars, people that are researching your practice are going to pick your competitors almost every time. So you have to be winning when it comes to online reviews. And we've got other information and tutorials on that, but these are, again, just precursors here, prerequisites to succeeding with any sort of marketing. Also, you have to be price competitive or provide a clear advantage with reputation or patient experience that's tangible. And really, that's hard to do. So being price competitive, I think, is still something that's important for most practices to consider. And then you need to create incentives and implement strategies that improve retention after you get people in the door. So once a patient comes in the door, that's half the battle. I would say the other half of the battle is figuring out strategies to knock it out of the park with patient experience and give them a reason to come back consistently for other services or for repeat service. So those 4 things I want, if you have to, pause and really soak that in, because I think these are extremely, extremely important prerequisites to anything you're doing with your marketing and advertising. So some other recommended resources here. Recommend this now to any med spa that we work with, and that's the book Med Spa Confidential by Dr. Carol Clinton and Sarah Schickman. Both of them have been guests on our podcast, so I recommend listening to those podcast episodes as well. But I've read the book, and I think that it's an absolute necessity for med spa owners. Also, our resources section of our website, if you go to medspamagicmarketing.com, you can look at our free tips section. We've got our podcast episodes, additional trainings, and YouTube tutorials like this one. And we're always continuing to build out that resource section. So I recommend those 2 things to get you started with additional learning and information. So now some must-haves for Facebook ad success, right? We have to, number 1, understand this principle. And this is from a book called The Advertising Effect. And it's that action changes attitude faster than attitude changes action. So what does that mean? It's basically, traditionally with advertising, what we're trying to do is we're trying to impact buying decisions based on our marketing messages. Well, this is the idea that flipping that is probably the most effective way to generate a fan or a lifetime customer. And that's to get people to come into your practice and have an authentic experience with your practice that's positive is the best way you're going to attract a lifetime patient. So we can try to convince them with marketing material and marketing messages and ads all day long, but the best way to change someone's opinion is to get them into your practice for a genuine experience. Okay. Also, you need to have a rock solid sales process. And that means a process that turns a lead into a patient, and the process that turns a patient into a loyal patient. Okay, so that's going to be the part 1 of the presentation here. We'll make sure that part 2 is linked below, where we'll jump into the steps of building out your Facebook ads.